Hi there, it's Grant here. I've got a very exciting and important video update for you today. This is a private update that Teeka Tiwari gave to his Palm Beach letter members, all about how the government is going to reset your dollars with US digital dollars, how they're going to do it, and what you can do about it, and how you can protect your money and your wealth and your future. And what I want to do is just give you a snippet of what Teeka was talking about here inside the Palm Beach letter, which I'm a member of, because I've been following this closely over the past couple of months since Teeka, he brought out a video presentation talking about US digital dollar. I think there's been a lot of pushback from most people because they kind of think, well, why would you replace the current dollar, which is the most powerful currency in the world? Blah de blah de blah. We've got dollar bank accounts. Why would we just transfer over to digital dollar, especially when a lot of people are skeptical about crypto and digital assets? Well, this is where Teeka's updates come in, because the US government need to create a huge external event that will basically put the US public sort of in desperation, where they're just pleading with the government for a solution. And this is what Teeka is talking about in this video. And then he goes on how you can protect yourself and your wealth and your future. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about what Teeka talks about. So as I said, Teeka believes that in order to roll out the US digital dollar, and before I go into that, you might be thinking there isn't going to be a US digital dollar, and that is wrong. Yes, there is. The first stage of it was the new FedNow instant payment system that was rolled out in the summer. In fact, it's not just the US who's working on the US digital dollar. Most developed countries in the world are now working on their digital, own digital currencies. And like I say, going back, FedNow was the first stage of it, but now what the US government needs to do in order to roll out the US digital dollar, they need to create the stage and a huge event in order to roll this out, because the people will never accept it at the moment. Why would you? You've got all of your wealth in your bank account. You don't need a digital dollar. What works now is working fine. So that is why the US government needs an external event in order to roll it out. And Teeka's, I'll just go down to the transcript here. So basically the US economy is in trouble. I haven't heard this, just heard this from Teeka. I've heard this from many people. It's nearly on the brink of collapse. And the reason why is that the government holds 32 trillion in debt. And Jamie Dimon, head of JP Morgan, believes that the long bond and interest rates go to 7%, which means interest payments on the debt is going to be 2.4 trillion, and the government only takes in 4 trillion a year. So 2.4 trillion is 2x the defense budget. Teeka goes on to say, how do you match that gap? And you can't. Rationally, you cannot do it. But what the government can do is print huge amounts of money, and Teeka believes it will, in no other way that it is ever done before, to basically mask these huge interest bills it has going on. And that's going to cause your US dollars to depreciate massively. And that is the kind of event that Teeka Tiwari believes is going to happen. And another thing about this as well, not only is the US government saddled with huge amounts of debt, it is now going into a war in the Middle East, and this could turn into a major war. And the fact is, the US government doesn't have the money in order to fund this war. So when you look at the huge amount of debt that the US government holds, the fact that it's funding two wars, the war in Ukraine and now the war in the Middle East, how long will these wars continue to go on? These not only the scenario that Teeka paints that, printing huge amounts of money could devalue a dollar. The fact that these wars could also create a huge event in terms of major war that could basically collapse the US economy, the US dollar, which would give the US government the external event in order to roll out their US digital dollar. That is the only scenario that the US public will accept this US dollar in times of dramatic crisis where the US public are demanding a solution to, basically the US dollar collapsing in value and pretty much going to nothing. And that is basically where Teeka is going with this. And also the flip side of it is giving solutions to people of basically how his readers and people can protect yourself. And I'll tell you outright, Teeka's two solutions are to buy gold and Bitcoin. He says Bitcoin is the new digital gold. It's going to be probably the most value asset in the planet in the next 5 to 10 years. And gold is basically the original way people used to transact and buy things. Gold is always going to be valuable. In fact, a lot of big-time billionaires are buying into gold now with all of the crises that are going on, and a lot of investors are buying into Bitcoin. And this is really where Teeka is going with this. There are solutions to protect itself. So, the US digital dollar is coming. It just needs a huge external event in order to bring it out, for the US government to roll it out as a savior to the American people. That could either happen, as Teeka suggests, with basically a collapsing value in the dollar in the face of soaring inflation, soaring interest rates, and out of control money printing in order to mask its debt, or a huge war could, the Middle East war could escalate into a bigger war that could, who knows, maybe turn into global war, which would collapse the American economy and the US dollar, in which case that would give the US government case study in order to roll out the US digital dollar. Why? You might be thinking, why is the US digital dollar bad news? Well, the US digital dollar is a digital currency that is programmable. If the US public start using it en masse, your money is in danger, because the US government, through the US digital dollar, control what you buy, how much money you have in your account, what you buy, what you spend. They could freeze your account. So basically, you have no control over your money. Basically, the US government will own pretty much your money. You'll have complete control of what you buy, what you spend, how much money you hold in the account. Your money will no longer be your own. And that is why Teeka is doing all of these video updates and giving people solutions of how they can protect their wealth. So should the worst happen and US digital dollar gets rolled out, you can basically have assets where you can store your wealth safely and protect your money from the government and what is coming down the road. Final thought here is now is the time to prepare. I think not only the US financial system, but the global financial system is going through the biggest change in history. I mean, countries around the world are accelerating to digital currencies, and these things are not good. So I think this is why updates from Teeka Tiwari like this are so important. And he's going to be rolling these out massively over the coming weeks and months to his Palmage letter readers. So if you want to join the Palmage letter, you can do so. Basically, I'll link to this page in the comment and description below. If you want to join, you can join for 75% off and get your first year for just $49. And when you join, you can basically go and watch this update. Great update from Teeka. But you also get, all of his special reports. He's released a load of reports on AI and lots of crypto stuff. You get the crypto corner, which will teach you how to buy crypto. And as we're coming into crypto bull run, Teeka is going to be giving a load more picks out. as we go into the crypto bull run, which will be happening probably in 2024. So if you want to join the Palm newsletter, I'll link to this page down in the description and in the first comments. Just come to this page, click the button, review your order on the next page, and you'll be in for just $49, and then you can start devouring Teeka's research and all of his updates about the incoming US digital dollar. So if you enjoyed this video, why not like it? Why not subscribe to this channel to get more content like this? I'll be doing more video updates like this as and when news breaks. But thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon.